Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on today's video tutorial, we're gonna do some kind of different pumpkins. Okay, so let me tell you what the inspiration was, then I'll show you what we're gonna use, and then we'll jump right in. I was just scrolling through Facebook this week when I stumbled on a photo of some beautiful green pumpkins that are sort of this fern color that were made by Weathered Wings Art. And it just stayed in my brain, this green pumpkin idea, and how if you did something like that, it's really more artistic than seasonal, and you could keep it out all the way, I think, until after Thanksgiving. So it wouldn't just be a Halloween or early fall type of a thing. So yesterday I went to Target and I bought these were just these little wooden pumpkins that were 2 for $5. And then I bought this, which of course it was the brown paper mache, and it was about $5 as well. And so I have 3 pieces, and I'm going to show you my my version, my spin on this idea that I saw from Weathered Wings Art. Okay, so we're going to be using this paint right here. It's from Walmart. That's where I get it anyways. And it's called Fern, and it's a Waverly chalk acrylic no prep paint. I'm also using some of this white Waverly, same deal. And then we are gonna use a little bit of the Magnolia wax to prepare our surfaces before we stencil. We're gonna be using this white Magnolia chalk paste. And I'm gonna try, this is a new color that is coming next Wednesday, and it is called Army Green. I'm not for sure that this is gonna match exactly, but we're gonna try it. Okay, so that's basically what's involved. You could also, to do the top, you could just use some gold paint, or, you know, I say use what you have, and if you have a set of these awesome markers, which I encourage everybody to get these because I think these are a basic staple to have in your craft stash. You could use either one of the gold pins to color your tops. So, okay, let's hop right in. Well, first thing I did was I painted 2 coats of this fern green paint on this little wood pumpkin and on this one. Okay, and on this one right here, I put 2 coats of white. So we're gonna be doing 2 green pumpkins and 1 white pumpkin. And the other thing I did was I used this gorgeous stencil, which I really think of it more as a summer kind of a stencil, but honestly it's not. It could be any time of the year because it's just beautiful. That is called Floral Fantasy. And these are some of the pieces that come in it. This is my new one. The one that I've had for 2.5, 3 years is looking really terrible. So I decided to go for it and cut my new one up and use it today. So it's called Floral Fantasy, and when I'm all finished, if you want a link, I'd be glad to get that for you. Okay, so let me show you this little one because it's all done and ready to go. I always want to experiment and pre-craft before I come to craft with you to make sure that I like it and that it's gonna work. So I made this before I came live. And I will do a vignette this week and get pictures. I have a buffet that I've had since I was 14 years old. It's an antique and it's in my dining room, and I'll probably set up some pretty kind of vignette using natural elements, and then these 3 pumpkins. So the top of it, I used my marker to color gold, and then I used white chalk paste and this stencil to create this design. Isn't that pretty and different? It's gonna be gorgeous together. Okay, and this one I started, but we're gonna work some more on it. Let me just give you one quick little sneak peek. See, look at what, it's gonna be, it's really gonna be a gorgeous little trio, I hope. Okay, so let me set this one aside because it's pretty much done. I could do the other side, but on these, I didn't realize when I bought them, they're meant to hang, and so they have this little keyhole in the back. But they're great for sitting up straight. They're nice and thick. Okay, so let's work on this one, and then we'll do this one. And I did one little flower just to see if I was going to be able to do it, because this is obviously not straight up and down. And the other thing I did was I used my Magnolia wax to prepare this paper mache painted surface to take a stencil. And this is the Magnolia wax. It's a new product. They've had it just maybe a month or two. And it kind of gives a little bit of a sheen. You can see right there where I stopped. So, and you just want to go real light with your wax. And then we're going to buff it really good. So let me finish the whole pumpkin, and then we'll buff it. This paint is really pretty flat, and so the wax gives you a little bit of a sheen, and it also makes it so that most of the time your stencils will come out crisper. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to use a bigger stencil on this curved pumpkin. Okay, I just applied my wax, and I'm just going to use a paper towel. Good enough. So this is an alternative. Let me tell you what this is used for. I frequently, whenever you're working on wood that's painted, stained, or natural, or some other surface like paper mache, or sometimes even stretched canvases, they can sometimes not give you a great stencil impression. So most of the time, before I stencil, I'll take those items out into my backyard and I'll give them a coat. This is Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Matte Clear Sealer Spray. But an alternative to this is clear wax. They both do the same thing. They kind of stop what you're putting on your surface from going down into the pores and then spreading out everywhere. This is a super great substitute for this on a rainy or snowy or cold day, seriously. Okay, so I think I've buffed this enough, and I'm just gonna work on my little tacky towel because that'll make it easier for me to hold my thing. Oh no, I see a couple spots where I didn't really get it on very well. Okay, so trying to decide what we want to put on here next. And I'm kind of feeling like I want to do this big one. We'll see if it works. So I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and then we'll label it. I trim these kind of things down a lot of the times because it makes it easier to position it and to just manage it. Especially if you're going to be working on a curved surface. And I'm really not sure what to expect here because this is such a curved, it's a rounded and then it's got grooves surface. Okay, so I'm just gonna write floral. This stencil is called Floral Fantasy. I use it a ton in the spring and summer. I even used it a little bit in the fall. So it's not, you know, it's not a good fall and winter flower stencil. It's just you don't think of flowers too much this time of year. Just carefully taking it off the backing sheet. This one's really stuck on here. It's probably my fault because it was in a pile of stuff with a lot of other stuff sitting on top of it. Okay, so I labeled the back of it, and when I'm done, when it's clean and dry, I'll put it back on the shiny side. And I'm just gonna fuzz it. That's what this towel is for, in case you're new. It's called a tacky towel, and it's for fuzzing your stencils. And then the other thing you can do with it that's really nice is when you're done like washing a stencil and you are impatient to let it air dry, you can put it inside of this, and this gray part inside can pat your stencils dry. So, and I'm impatient frequently. I don't know if you knew that about me. Yeah. Okay, I may just do this main big flower, which you kind of have to hold it. Let's see, and I'm going to use a paintbrush to apply this. Find a good one. You want something stiff, and we're using chalk paste. Hopefully I won't be sorry that I selected such a big stencil. So I'm going to basically hold it down in sections. Apply my chalk paste. This is pretty brave of me to attempt this live. Because there's a pretty good chance that it might not look good. We'll see. So did you know that you can apply your chalk paste with a paintbrush? Yes, you can. And sometimes it's about the only thing you can use to get your chalk paste on your surface. Like a squeegee, I don't know how well a squeegee would do. Oh, it looks okay underneath. Oops. I just smudged my finger into my white chalk paste. But the good thing is, this is completely washable. And let's go ahead and do this center area. Let me peek. Not the best job I've ever done, but it's not terrible. It's just hard because this surface is lumpy and bumpy and rounded. So tell me in the comments if you've ever attempted to stencil something like this, of this size. That's kind of what it's looking like. I think we'll go a little bit further down. What the heck? It's either going to be wonderful or not. There's probably nothing I can do about it. So what do you guys think so far? Do you think I'm crazy for trying this? The white one's going to be significantly easier. Significantly. I'm just kind of using my fingers to pull it as flush as I can to the pumpkin. Okay, let's say good enough. I'm nervous. And I know there's going to be areas that I've completely missed. So I'm going to lift it up and peek as I'm, honestly, you guys, it doesn't look too bad so far. Wow. I'm kind of shocked. There's a few areas where it bled a little bit. Let me throw this in my tub over here. Get my hands cleaned off. And I can come back, you guys, and you know, clean up the areas like right there. But look at that. So now what I would do is I would use another stencil on the other side. And I think it's just going to be beautiful in a vignette with this and the white. It's different. You know, this week I made pink and copper canvases for winter. We used the spackle knife. It was really fun. This is the new copper chalk paste. And this week I did candy, cotton candy tulle Christmas trees. So I've been really experimenting with my colors this week, and I think this turned out beautiful. I can't wait to see it once I get the whole thing done. So let me set it aside. I'll clean up the spots where it's kind of smudgy, and I think it's going to be great. Okay, so let's work on this one. Before I came live, I gave it a couple of, where's my sandpaper? A couple of coats of white Waverly paint. You can use absolutely whatever paint you have on hand. I'm just gonna give it just a little teeny sanding to get this front surface smooth. Pull that dust off. And then I'm going to do a little wax on this one. I'm not going to wax the top part where we're going to paint the handle, the stem of this on. Okay, so the trick with this wax is to do it very light. Don't go crazy. And then you really want to buff it well. Okay. here's our little white pumpkin. I don't know if I said any of my normal stuff. Judy says she bought the deer stencil and the new copper color. Oh my gosh. You're gonna love it. Look how pretty this is, you guys. This was one stencil that I used to make these two canvases. And they were super inexpensive canvases. The other thing I did with that deer stencil, and then we'll finish up here, is I made a couple of trays. These were Dollar Tree, $5 trays. And I used the spackle knife on the edges of this one too. I've been in a very spackly spackle knife mood lately. Okay, so we're gonna try this new color of chalk paste that will be coming out this Wednesday, I don't know what this next Wednesday is, the 22nd maybe? Something like that. It's an awesome color. It's called Army Green. And I have just been in a green mood lately, and I love all different greens. Like, I don't necessarily always like your basic Christmas pine tree green. Sometimes I like something different, and that's what I feel like this color is. So, let's see, what should we do? This would be pretty. Let's use this piece. I haven't used it yet. And I'm gonna write Floral. It's part of a big stencil that has, you know, multiple pieces that is called Floral Fantasy. And it's a great, especially in the summer. We made the cutest wristlets using ink in black to stencil the outline of these flowers, and then I diluted ink and painted in the inside of the flowers, and it looked like a watercolor. It also kind of looked a little bit like a bright colored tattoo. It was so interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna fuzz it because these are super sticky and I don't want to get it all stretched out. And this is going to be so much easier than the pumpkin that we just did. So much easier. Okay, so I'm just going to figure out how do I want this to lay on here. Okay. And I'm just going to rub it on. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Okay, and we're going to use a regular squeegee to do this new chalk paste. Okay, so Charlotte says if she could get over her health issues, she could get so addicted to Magnolia. Self-control. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But there's just something about exercising that creative side of yourself. I think it's healing. It's good for us. So when you do get over your health issues, just try a little something. Try some of the crafts that I'm doing that don't involve stencils if you don't want to use stencils. But honestly, the stencils are awesome. And I think once you use them, you'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this earlier? So I'm going to just get my chalk paste on, and then I'm going to pull off the globs. I'm going to go all the way out to the edges. Hopefully this will look good with the Fern Waverly paint. So I did not do this project exactly like the photo that I shared earlier today from Weathered Wings Art. It's my own, you know, her thing was the inspiration. This is my translation of it, or my version or spin of it. Look how pretty that is, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm throwing this over here in my little tub of water until I can get out to the kitchen to clean it. These would just be pretty together. Okay, so let's do the handle. And I'm just going to use this marker right here. This is the set of ink and chalk paste markers you get in ink. A black, a white, a silver, and a gold. And then in chalk paste, you get a black, a white, a silver, and a gold. And this is actually the ink one. And the reason why I'm choosing this one right now is because I like the darker color of this gold. So did you know that you could color with these? Yes, you can. Okay, put that on pretty thick, so it is going to take a little while to dry. But let's look at this together. Let me get a little space here. Okay, here's the big green pumpkin, which is not finished, but I will finish it. And here are our little ones. I just put my finger in that gold. Darn. What do you guys think? Isn't it pretty and different? And I'm going to grab a wipe right now and just show you how easy it will be to get the spots that are kind of a oopsie off. I need a new container of wipes. This one's really wet. So that was a big smooch right there that I'm just going to pull off. I know I saw one back here. Do you guys like this idea? It's very different. It is definitely not your orange pumpkin idea. It's a little more artsy-fartsy, I think. Excuse my language. But anyways, I hope you like it. So let me know if you would like links to anything, to my favorite pens, to any of the chalk paste, to the stencils, or if there's a particular one, like if you want that deer stencil, just let me know, or to this, to the tacky towel. If you don't have this yet, this is a purchase that you do want to make sometime along your journey because it's so useful. And I get this question all the time. Let me answer it right now and then we'll wrap up. What do you do when it gets dirty? Well, I put it in the washing machine with a bunch of towels, and I wash it with regular laundry soap. And then I put it in the dryer, and I don't use dryer sheets or anything like that, but I just dry it and it's good as new. So I wash it maybe every 2 weeks. And they do get some kind of snags on them, but you could cut those off if you would like, or just live with them. They really don't impact anything. So let me just see if this would work for a screenshot. Thank you. This one is not perfect, but it's pretty darn good for saying that I was really kind of having to stretch that stencil out to get it to cover the different things. It'll be beautiful when I get it finished. I'll put some more stuff right here. So do a this or a this. That's a thumb and this is a heart. Or say something to me in the comments. Check to see if you've liked and followed this page. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to comment there as well or ask questions. And while you're there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it. Feel free to sprinkle. If you end up doing some kind of a pumpkin in an unusual color, like this green and white with gold, then I definitely want to see pictures. So hop over to that group that I set up for all of us to share our pictures in. It's called Dreamy DIY. It's a free Facebook group where I have shared a lot of photos, and all of you guys, you super creative people, have shared your photos and ideas. So it's a great, great place to go to get even more ideas. And I'd love to see what you come up with. Or if you just follow this same idea, I mean, you can use any green paint and any pumpkin shape. These I got at Target, but there's nothing special about them. Thank you so much to everyone who did stars. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who's sprinkled. Yeah, I have lots of good stuff coming up, including Christ and Crafting tomorrow, so I'd love to see you for that. And then next week, I have multiple things in the works. We're gonna do t-shirts. Hey, and let me show you my t-shirt that I made for tonight. I am going to my son and his wife's parents' house. They're our in-laws, for a little fall Halloween get-together. And we personally don't do a bunch of Halloween stuff, but I love that movie Hocus Pocus. So all of you guys out there, don't chew me out, please, for liking Hocus Pocus, because I don't do all the other witch and demonic stuff. Anyways, so I made this cute little t-shirt to wear tonight. This is my costume, and it says, "Oh, look, another glorious morning. Makes me sick." And then I did orange polka dots on this sleeve, and I did the plaid in black on the other. So it's a little sheer. I'll be wearing a cami under it, and yeah, so next week we'll be doing some fun t-shirts and a whole bunch of other things. I don't know what. Maybe we'll make an apron. If you guys have ideas or things that you want to see, by all means tell me. That gives me ideas. And I just need an idea to get started, and then I can totally run with it. So, all right. Well, you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow, and then I hopefully will see you this week. And don't hesitate to ask questions or let me know if there's anything I can help you with. All right. Bye, friends. See you later. Oops.